Hey everybody, welcome back to Ready Steady Play.
Hello.
It's Mike and Michael.
Hi.
Hello. And we are revisiting Tainted Grail. We did the tutorial about a week ago, and now we're doing the actual thing, so we're very excited.
I hope you are too.
Yes, I hope you're excited to come on this journey with us. We did do a vote, and this game won the votes, but I just want you to know that if you didn't vote for it because you're concerned about spoilers, I'm very sorry. I hope that after you've had a chance to play the game, you're excited to come back and join us. But this
See
will
how
be,
we do.
See how we did, yeah. This will be a spoiler-filled playthrough, so if you're hoping to avoid spoilers for the game, I'm afraid that this way we can't avoid them. But there is, I understand, enough content here and enough decision trees that there is plenty of replayability in the game. I know that a lot of people have been failing and choosing to start over because there is a sort of a way to fail and start again from your sort of current chapter rather than going right back to the start, but people have been choosing to go back to the start
because there's so many different options when they play again.
So hopefully the plethora of options will mean that this doesn't spoil too much of your enjoyment and surprise of the game, but maybe you've played it a bunch of times already and you just want to see us fail.
Enjoy.
I would like to set the expectations low from the outset. We do not anticipate doing well, but after all, that's because we're the dumb heroes with the flaws.
That's right.
I mean, I can't imagine that anyone watching this video by now doesn't know what Tainted Grail is, but if you
Where
don't...
have you been? Under a rock?
Well, we've already covered it a bunch of times. Loads of people have it, and also it just seems weird that you would start here if you'd never heard of it.
That's true.
But just in case you haven't, welcome to the channel. We're so happy to see you, and Tainted Grail is, of course, a fantasy adventure game. It's completely cooperative. It's sort of a grim take on the Arthurian legend, where everyone has vacated the mainland to go to the mystical island of Avalon, which is covered in a weirdness that corrupts people and turns them into monsters. Fortunately, ancient magical beings created these statues called the menhirs, like these guys here, and the menhirs will fend off the weird and stop people from becoming corrupted. Unfortunately, the menhirs are losing their ancient power, and we don't really know how to restore it. No. We can sort of refresh it through sacrifices, but we don't really know how to fix them because we don't really understand the ancient magics powering them. So, and simultaneously, the plague that drove us to the Isle of Avalon, called the Red Death, which causes people's skin to melt off, it has followed us from the mainland onto Avalon, and now an order called the Red Priests are trying to figure out the cure for the Red Death. This is the best I can remember. So
you did better than I did.
You didn't even try. But so the King Arthur in his court at Camelot decided to lead a quest to save the menhirs and banish the weird and solve the problem of the Red Death. I think it was mostly to do the former, but the latter also probably. Yeah. So all the best heroes from the village of Kaunak set out to join him on his quest.
They've gone forth.
Exactly, including Ephrier, the Forge Master, and some other people.
They've disappeared.
And yes, they've gone missing, and now we think their quest might have failed. We don't know what's happened to them. So we are now the B team, whoever's left.
The runt of the litter.
Yeah, we are both flawed characters. So I am Niamh, and I'm some kind of wilderness scouting lady. I'm quite good at figuring out what monsters are coming up next, but I'm also infamous because I'm a bit of a badass, or maybe I'm a bit crazy, I'm not sure. Either way, when I go into town I lose reputation, so I probably just shouldn't do that.
Anyone who puts rats on their shoulders
yeah, I definitely have some kind of like sort of wild pirate going on. I've also got these wicked daggers, so
yeah, you don't want to good toothpicks there.
And for those of you that are familiar with the nuances of the mechanics of the game, I've chosen to play Niamh with the blue player board.
And I am Ailei?
Let's say Ailei.
Ailei. She's also a badass, I believe.
She's a diplomat. A badass diplomat.
Yeah, she knows how to talk her way out of things.
Out of problems, yeah.
She's very good at healing. So I can heal both of us.
Great.
In the same location.
Good.
But I'm also traumatized. I'm sure that's you actually playing with me a lot, but never mind.
Yeah, I'm the one who should be traumatized.
So it means I can't reduce terror unless I'm in a location with an active menhir, which could prove problematic because I could go insane. We don't want that. But yeah, just I'm at one with nature.
Yeah.
So
you're a healer.
Yeah, and I know how to talk a good game.
And you play on the green board.
I do play on the green board because I'm always green.
So we're all set up and ready to go, and we've set out the Chapter 1 event deck. We've set out the Chapter 1 setup here. So we've compiled everything. We've put together the encounter decks over there. We've got our advancement decks all set up at the top there.
Yep.
And our locations. We've got our starting combat and diplomacy decks here and here. And
as told to do so by the setup.
Yeah, we followed all the strict instructions and we know what to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our heroes here, put them in Kaunak, and then we are going to read you these letters that were sent to us by the heroes that disappeared. So, I hope you're excited to come on this journey with us, and we're now going to start the game.
Cool. Shall I go first, seeing as I have a number 1 and you have a number 5?
Yeah, I'm hero 5 and you're hero 1, so why don't you start with your letter?
Ailei's letter. My dearest apprentice, how I regret what little time we had for your education. I was forced to leave town before I could pass on even a fraction of the knowledge you deserve, although the fact you'd rather spend time in the meadows than in the temple certainly did not help. Know this, the sagas of old are true. Our island once belonged to twisted immortal powers. Avalon was not created for humans. But Arthur, the first of the kings, who landed on these shores with our people, subdued this realm inch by inch. He took the Grail from the Four-Dwellers and used it to bring seasons and cycles known from our world to this godless place. We all thought the menhir in our village was raised to immortalize this. The truth is, it was created to keep these ancient powers out, anchoring the island to the world of mankind. Now, the menhirs go dark, and we will soon follow them into oblivion. Thus, Lord Wyvern?
Sure.
Secretly gathered the 5 strongest and wisest champions, including me. He led us east to seek help in Camelot before it's too late, before the land fragments and sinks into the weirdness. If we do not return, or send word in 30 days, it means we have failed, and the fate of Karnak falls to you. Wyvern thought you too unstable to go with us, and my runes foretold you would not return alive if you did. But alone, you might stand a chance. Save our people, or, if you cannot, try to save yourself. And always remember, to me, you were the daughter I could never have. Stay safe. Niamh, priestess of Karnak. Aww.
That's quite sweet. I suspect that it's going to go downhill from here. And I am... Niamh. I know you're not easy to pinpoint, so I pray to All-Mother this message reaches you in time, and that you don't discard it without reading. 2 years ago I saved your life, dragging you unconscious from the Underfern. You told me you were honor-bound to repay this debt, and now I am forced to remind you of this promise. As you've seen, the menhirs all over Avalon go dark. Something has broken. The spring will not come. Something wrong is happening in Tuathan. Lord Wyvern secretly gathers the 5 strongest and wisest people of Kaunak, including me. I lead this group east to seek help in Camelot before it's too late, before the land sinks into the weirdness. There is a good chance we will never return. Therefore, I and some of my friends are putting a second plan in place. Within a month of our departure, a second group will depart from Kaunak, hopefully learning from our mistakes. These people won't be as experienced, and since your knowledge of the island is unparalleled, I'd like you to act as their guide and pathfinder. Should they be wary of you, which is to be expected considering your troubling reputation, show them this letter. Then do what you can to save my hometown, or ensure your new companions won't share our fate, whatever it may be. Albert, Master Pathfinder of Kaunak.
Ooh.
So we've discovered that Albert won the lottery and retired, and he doesn't want to share that with us. Jerk.
What a douche.
What a douche. So, there you go. That is the backstory of the group that set off already. Mm-hmm. And following in their footsteps is something that will happen, I think, during the course of this game as well. Mm. So, what we're going to be doing now is starting the game.
Let's do it.
Cool, great. So, the very first thing that happens is that we lose a day on the men here.
What?
Yeah. So it starts on 7, so it's going to go down to 6. Bummer.
That sucks.
Yep. And then we reveal an event card. So this is Chapter 1, Part 1.
Cool.
Okay. Place this card on top of the active quest pile. Well, I haven't made one of those, but I will now make one. The time is short. The guardian menhir that has been protecting your town since the ancient days is about to go dark. Rumor has it that there's a secret druidic ritual that will help you rekindle the menhirs. You must explore the locations surrounding Kaunak to find it. Quest. Earn a Menhir Rites secret card. To do so, you will have to explore the locations surrounding Kaunak, which is location 101. Mm-hmm. Success! As soon as you have the Menhir Rites, resolve the Chapter 1 Part 5 card from the event deck and discard this card. Remember not to change the structure of the rest of the deck. Hint.
Got it.
If this is your first game, try to return to Kaunak at the end of this day and spend a night there to read the dream, as dreams often contain hints.
Oh.
Well then.
Guess we better do as we're told.
Okay, so we've got our first quest.
Exciting!
Yeah, so it says that we should try and someone should spend the night on Kaunak, and also it says that we should try to do an explore in Kaunak too.
So...
By the way, I don't know if you guys saw, but here are our heroes. This is Niamh. She's the Pathfinder.
Yeah.
She's a badass with double swords.
She's a beast.
And over here we've got... I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a little bit of trouble with this camera's white balance here, but...
It's perception.
Anywho. I hope you can see those models okay. Whoa.
Cool. Well, I have 0 terror. Fabulous.
So I start with 6 energy. How about you?
I start with 7.
Oh, well, whoopie-doo for you. I also start with 1 food, and you start with 3, so I think I need to sort out my food situation.
Well, do you want to explore? Because that might give you some food.
Well, I think I might go up to the Hunter's Grove.
Oh, yes.
And do that thing up there.
Shall I come with you?
Well, I was about to say that once I leave Kaunak, the next time I come in, I'll lose a reputation.
Yes, that's true.
So, the other thing is that you have to be mindful of your dream business, which is that... oh, no.
No, it's Maggot.
It's Maggot. I'm thinking of Maggot. Nah, different character. Okay, well, I mean, you can come with me, but one of us wants to wind up in Kaunak. I don't think there's much point in you coming with me immediately, because the first thing I'm going to fight is a mist rat.
Yeah,
which is meaningless.
Yeah.
We know that because the first encounter is telegraphed. We got it from the tutorial. I think I said in that tutorial video as well, I was like, we are never going to need these cards again. And then it's immediately like, use those cards again.
We're like, don't. Well, should we...
I think at this stage, it's probably like easy enough. Like in the prototype, there was a lot of like bad enemies coming at us from the outset, but it seems like they've sort of really... tried to balance out the starting enemies a bit more, so we might be strong enough to actually split up, and I think that'll be a better use of our time.
Well, do you think it's better me going to the Charred Conclave, then?
Why?
I don't know. Oh,
I think the very first thing, you should explore Kaunak.
Oh, it did tell us to do that,
yeah, because that will give us a hint, yeah.
Oh, God. Maybe you should play this with Ailei and Chris.
My current intention... Okay, let's cancel the series, and I'll be back at some point in the future with Ollie after we finish Legacy of Dragonholt.
Should we just swap? Should I do Legacy of Dragonholt?
Yeah, I know you'd like to do that.
Right, yes. I'll stay and do an explore. Shall I do that first? Let's meet do that.
I think you should explore Kaunak as the very first thing, because that'll give us useful information.
Right. I spend 1 energy to do that.
I was just telling you, I think my plan is going to be to go up to the Hunter's Grove and look for food, because I have none. Well, I've got 1, but it's not enough. Alright, so
we can share food if we're in the same location, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I have 3.
Okay. So I've got some maps in here as well. These are the maps of the island, and everybody gets a map. So as you can see, there's Camelot to the northeast, and definitely not the southwest. Right, so... What?
Oh, I'm going to have a challenge with this book.
Just try not to look at too much of the book. Okay, so you're doing a...
Oh, you're not going to help me with this either, are you? I have to do all these decisions on my own.
So I'll show you, Michael, what I'm doing here, actually, because we've got this. So these are all the relevant paragraphs based on the choices you take. And because we don't want to look at those, I'm just going to cover those up, and I'm just going to read you what's here, which is the same information that's on the back of the card.
Yes.
So, let's see if we can get this onto the camera here.
I can look at this, can't I?
Yeah, but maybe don't.
Okay.
Maybe just listen.
Alright, storyteller. Read me a story.
Look at the pretty picture. A deep feeling of loss fills everything in Kaunacht, from dilapidated farms to the sunken eyes of those who remain in town. The men here in the market is all but extinguished, and everyone brave or resourceful enough has left to find a solution. If you have the wit, we don't have that. We have none of these things. So, you can choose.
Okay.
Visit the families of the champions from the first expedition. If you're to find them, knowing more about them might help you. Ask the townsfolk to help you prepare. Rest for a day in your own home. Wander the alleys twisted by the weirdness. That's only if the Menhir model is not in this location. So we've still got a Menhir here, so...
Yeah, so we can't do that.
Can't do that. And leave. Exploration ends. Now, I thought there was also information about the Menhir here. Right, yes. We should also have this information here, so... This is obviously, this information here is this exact information here,
yeah.
But there's also an activate a Menhir on the bottom here. So
yeah.
It's 0 energy to activate the Menhir. All of the characters, with the Menhir right secret card, and the Stone Shaper's Tools secret card. Wow.
Ooh.
Requires all the characters and these 2 things. We can pay 2 energy, 2 health, 2 wealth, and 2 magic per player to put a new Menhir model on this location and set its style to 8, -1 per player.
That's a lot for 6 turns.
Yep. Well, maybe we can ignore this Menhir and go to a different one. We just need to find another one. So, what do you fancy doing?
So it's really the families of the champions from the first expedition, or ask the townsfolk to help you prepare. I don't know what would be more helpful.
Yeah, I mean,
because resting in my own home is not really going to add anything.
So I think you've got 2 sort of viable options here. You ask the townsfolk to help you prepare, in which case you'll probably get some wealth or some food or something. Or you visit the families from the champions, in which case you'll probably get some useful information but no useful tangible things.
Yeah, exactly.
So the question is, do you want some information or do you want a food or something?
We do need food. But information is also helpful.
Welcome to 20 episodes of this.
I
don't know how many episodes it's going to be.
You're not going to give me a steer either, are you?
Well, I can tell you what I'd prefer, but I'm more interested in hearing what you want to do.
Okay.
Like, I know what I would do, but that's just based on personal preference.
Okay. I think we should get the supplies and prepare. What do you think? Was that the opposite?
Yeah.
No!
I would prefer to... well, because we can get the supplies, we can get those anywhere. You know, like, we can always go hunting and things, but this information can only be found here.
Oh, I see, of course.
You know, like, if they give you wealth or food, I can get food up here. We can get wealth all across the board, probably. But this information about these families, that's only at this location. So that's why I would pick that one.
So that's quite important to remember. Right, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Seeing as you've logically given that to me, I agree.
You're going to change your mind?
Yes.
Right, I'll allow it this once. Alright, so I'm going to do my best to cover up these other paragraphs here, guys, and just show you this paragraph here. Michael, now peeking.
Okay.
Though they... Oh, no, wait. Now I'm reading you the paragraph you originally wanted. Hang on. Okay. My intention is to attempt to use this to cover up the spoilers as best I can, people. This long winter, nearly everyone lost a friend or a family member. First to hunger, then to disease. Finally, the 5 remaining pillars of the community, the only heroes this land had ever known, suddenly left. Now, when you look into the distant eyes of the last remaining residents, you realize they want to forget. So you've got another set of choices.
Okay.
Loosen their tongues with mead. This is an old custom, a late-night wake for those who wander far from their home. Holding it for everyone who left, but the expedition won't be cheap, though. Ask them to share their burdens, or leave.
But I think that's worth paying because that's the important information, because you're going to get the truth if you loosen their tongues.
I mean, I don't know if I should have read you that, actually, because you can't afford it.
Yeah. I'd like to loosen their tongues, please.
But you do have empathy, so you can ask them to share their burdens. Actually, that requires empathy, so you couldn't do that if you didn't have any.
Right.
So actually, your choices are ask them to share their burdens or leave.
Okay. I'll ask them to share their burdens then.
Mm-hmm. It takes a while to break the silence of the grief-stricken people, but when you do, stories of separations and departures flood you like torrential rain. You try to remember every detail: the color of a palfrey horse the village priestess Niamh rode, the ornament on the hauberk that young Lord Yvain wore, the strange drinking horn Freya the smith used to lug around, the birthmark of Fael the master huntsman, the embroidered cape of Albert the seasoned traveller who'd seen all the parts of the island. Who knows what detail can help you down the road? Gain one part of the fate of the expedition status, and exploration ends.
Okay.
Part 1, specifically. So.
Oh, I should have write on here, shouldn't I?
Ooh. Well, no, that's only when we save.
Oh, okay.
We fill that in to note that we've saved.
When you have parts 1 to 8, go to this status.
So we've got part 1.
Okay. I'll call that in.
Now we only need 7 more.
Okay.
Good colouring. Well done. And don't forget to... Oh, you paid an energy already. Good job.
Yeah.
All right. So, that didn't... I realise, actually, that the hint is to rest there tonight rather than to explore Count-Act. But I feel like that was worth doing.
Yeah.
I mean, we just never know when those things are going to come in useful.
And we're on the path of getting the fate of the expedition, which is always helpful, because then we can know what happened to them.
I mean, it might be helpful. We just don't know. But we need all 8 parts, or we won't get anything out of it.
Exactly.
So that's going to be tricky. We have to make sure that we actually find those. Mm-hmm. So we have to start taking notes about what happened to them and things like that.
Okay.
You should have written down all the things they had.
What?
Where's our dirt booklet? We should have written down all their names for a start.
I'm the worst. Right. Do you have the book again?
We shall remember in the future to take notes during these sections.
Niamh.
The village
that's my lady. A palfrey.
Horse, yeah.
Palfrey. And I put house, not horse.
Lord Yvain had a hauberk. I guess because he's a knight or whatever. That's probably not useful to know.
Yvain.
Alright, so Freya had a drinking horn.
Whoa. Yep.
Fael, Fael, master huntsman. He had a birthmark.
Do we know where?
Nope, just says the birthmark of Fael, the master huntsman. And then we've got Albert, seasoned traveller, who has an embroidered cape, and that's 5, isn't it? Okay, good note taking.
Thank you.
Good note taking. I'm gonna.
Time around.
Shall I do a thing, or do you want to do a thing?
Well, don't we need? Didn't it say we need a sword? Don't we need? Oh, we should have made a note of that, didn't we? But if you flip this over, you need rights of the men here and something. So do we have to go down?
Yeah,
here?
well, I think so. This says, and now this is something that you of course will remember the Stone Shaper's Tools secret card from the prototype.
I think you give me too much credit.
Perhaps. So the Stone Shaper's Tools, as far as I remember, using my pre-knowledge from the prototype, is an item that you need to find, and we never found it. We're looking everywhere for it. So I don't know where you find it, but I think you only need it for this particular menhir because Count-Act is special.
Right. So
I think most menhirs don't require that card, that card to activate. But we do need menhir's rights, so we can't activate any menhirs. Now, I do remember also that there's 3 ways to get the card, and we only need to get 1 copy of it.
Okay.
So the question is how we want to go about getting it, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe you should just go up into the Hunter's Grove. Or maybe I should go here in the Warrior's Fair.
Why would we send the diplomat to the combat arena?
To go down here?
You will only be able to view this card.
If we get a menu.
No, you'll be able to view this card if you enter there. But you won't be able to view any of the other cards because there's not enough men here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think either you go to the Forlorn Swords or the Hunter's Grove, but either way, I should go up to the Hunter's Grove first and do a gather food action, and then you can...
Well, you need the food, don't you, after the day, yeah.
And I can definitely beat a bloody mist vermin. So I'll spend 1 energy to go into the Hunter's Grove, and then I'll spend 2 energy to gather food, which is gain 2 food and draw an encounter, which I know is the mist thingy vermin. Top of the green deck.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! So this even has all the tutorial information on it, but we won't worry about that. So, I've begun a combat, so I draw 3 cards. Only 2 cards if I'm playing with 4 people. Right, check the enemy traits. He has none, because he's a tiny rat.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's my turn first. Well, first I pick the active character, but it's me, because I'm the only one. So now I'm going to have a quick look at my Jimmy Jams here.
Jimmy Jams?
Yeah, okay, let's... Oh, wait, no,
So
I don't have that.
You need 4 to kill him.
Ooh, this card, I really want to play this card, but also it's probably bad for me. There's a 50% chance I just kill myself.
Oh no!
And a 50% chance I just kill him right away. Ooh. But I can't play a card off it. Damn it. Ooh, okay, but let us start with this one.
Okay.
So Crippling Strike. So I put that down there, and he takes 2 wounds because I trigger these 2 sections of the card.
Yes.
And now the thing about Crippling Strike as well is we get 2 little charges on there.
Yeah.
And I can pay a charge to draw a card and lose a wound later. And that, I'm afraid, is the end of my attack because none of my remaining cards have lightning bolt symbols on. So...
Oh, that sucks.
I mean, I guess maybe this is just... I mean, this is the starter combat deck, isn't it? So it's maybe just a bit basic. Or maybe it's a bad draw. We don't know because we don't know how to play. But... we don't know how to play well. But we move on to the Misshaped Vermin's turn.
Oh no.
And because I've only played 1 card, he's going to do an attack for 1 wound. So I'm going to take a wound. And I can pay one of these charges to draw a card.
Yeah.
Which will help me. I'll explain in a minute why. But also, if we were down here and he was going to lose a wound, I could pay one. It would also prevent that loss. But because I'm still up here in the top section of his attack, it's not helpful.
But you do get to draw a card.
Yeah, so I get to draw a card, and then what I have to do is discard down to 3. But because I've got 3, it's fine. And then I get to draw 1 more card. You always get to draw a card, so that's good. Now I have 4 cards. Hopefully, I've got something.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Hopefully, 2 of those.
Yeah.
Of one of those 2, sorry.
Yeah, and here we go. Look at that. Something called Final Blow right here. I mean, so this actually would have been great last turn because it's got the connector there, and it does 2 more wounds.
Yeah.
So I could have just played this.
And a 5th wound.
Yeah, exactly. So this totally murders him. I mean, it's really bad for me if it doesn't kill him because I'd lose 2 of the wounds I've done and take an extra wound.
Yeah.
But because it kills him, it's fine.
Perfect.
Because now he's going to take... I mean, if only I had it last turn. So now he takes 3 more wounds, and then we do a death check. He's dead, so
definitely dead.
Don't have to bother with his attack, right?
Yeah.
Because victory checks happen after you play 2 cards, or after he attacks. So because this is the first card, actually that's going to kill me. That's a bad idea. I need to play something else first, and then play that one.
Okay.
Which is fine, because I think I can do that. I think I can play Grapple here, which will deal 1 wound, and that's it.
Yeah.
But because that's the first card of the round, I don't need any lightning symbols.
Yes.
Then, this is all bad, but I'm going to cover it up with Final Blow, which I now can't play. Damn it.
Because you need to...
I need the symbols that match up with Final Blow.
No, you can. If you still play Final Blow...
Because it doesn't match up with this.
Ah.
Oh, this is really hard. Why did I think this would be... Thank God we are... Okay. And now I haven't done enough damage to kill him.
Oof.
But I have done 3 wounds, so he's not going to deal a wound. So actually, oh my god, okay, I need to wait out another round of combat. So while I figure out what the hell I'm doing... Well, it's my basic combat deck. The problem is I'm a basic fighter. I need to be a better fighter. Right, so...
I was more meaning he's proving problematic for us, not that you're rubbish.
This was so much easier in the tutorial! Well, I'll tell you what, I will figure out how to do combat and come back tomorrow to finish off this vermin. So I hope you guys are excited to come on this Tainted Grail journey with us. I apologize, we will be much more fluid at the combat in the future, and see you all tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Oh, I'm gonna get killed by a rat.
Oh my god, we've got another 3 of these to deal with.
Oh my god. And then also really bad things. These are the easiest.